Jack, do you support Trump?
I do.
Jack! Ugh, be puking everywhere again. Why?
I mean, a lot of his policies, I'd say he's a really good leader.
Good leader. Do good leaders usually refuse to feed their starving constituents?
Can you explain to me how that's happening?
Yeah, no, he did that for the first 12 days in November. Government shut down and everything. USDA ran out of money. He had access to emergency contingency funds to fund those benefits. And then he refused to. A court even ordered him to, and he still said no.
Was that necessarily his fault for the government shutdown? I'm confused on how you're kind of blaming that on him.
Well, I mean, listen, I do think that it is the fault of the Republicans for causing the shutdown in the first place, but that's actually an unrelated topic to Donald Trump being at fault for refusing to pay out SNAP benefits during the 12 days of the shutdown in November when he had the availability to. Because that was definitely his fault.
Let's shift back to the main topic here.
Yeah, let's shift away from my refutation of your point. Cute.
Okay, no. Yeah, let's see. Dean, let's talk about this, pal. Let's talk about this. I support Trump because we had 0 wars under Trump. He is representing the party of peace, okay? He wants the best for the American people. He wants 0 violence. I mean, How about
this? Let's just write it all down. Let me write it down. You support Trump because no wars. You support Trump because party of peace represents the people. Wants no violence. What else did you say?
Well, I mean, Dean, let's be mature here. Let's have a conversation like 2 adults.
I think that's what I'm like. I'm just writing down your points. Is that bad faith?
You can write it down all you want, but I mean, let's stay on topic here.
Okay.
Back to what I was saying, Dean, we're the party of peace. We know that you don't support that. Clearly, you support a party that killed Charlie Kirk. He was a Democrat. We know this. I don't care if he was a registered Republican or whatever the fake news said. You support a party that killed Charlie Kirk. He had 2 kids, a wife, now a widow. And I can't see how you could support a party who, I don't even see how you can justify killing a person because you don't agree with their political beliefs. Dean, I know if someone were to harm someone you love, of course you would be upset. I don't want to question your morality, but I feel like if someone were to harm someone you loved and they were no longer with you simply because of the fact that they disagreed with some of your beliefs, I feel like, I don't know, I don't think you'd be so happy about that. I don't think you're a bad guy, Dean. I think that I respect you for...
So got it. So if the Democrats killed Charlie Kirk, killed Charlie Kirk, then the Republicans and Maga killed Melissa Hortman and shot up that church about an hour north of Detroit in Michigan, right?
I'm not familiar with that story. Could you fill me in on that?
Oh, yeah. A crazed MAGA man went to Melissa Hortman's house and murdered her and her husband. Oh, then another crazed MAGA man went to a church around an hour north of Detroit in Michigan. It was a Mormon church. Walked inside and killed 8 people. And then I think another 4 died in the fire that he set to the building.
Okay, to combat you on that, how could you explain the multiple school shooters who are all registered Democrats and transgenders and... Clearly, these people are...
You know what? Good point with the school shooting, because the same day that Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck, a neo-Nazi shot up Evergreen High School in Denver, Colorado, and killed 8 students. So I just want to be clear. If you're going to say, like you did say, that it was the Democratic Party's fault that Charlie Kirk died, that is to blame on the party. So therefore, Melissa Hortman's murder is to blame on the Republican Party. The murder of all the people in the church an hour north of Detroit in Michigan is to blame on the Republican Party. And the neo-Nazi that shot up Evergreen High School, that's also to blame on the Republican Party, right? Don't pivot. Just answer my question. Yes or no?
You can't. Dean, let me give you an answer. Hold on. You can't necessarily say that both parties have not had violence on both sides.
Can you answer?
Listen. I'm a conservative.
I'm asking you a very clear question.
Go ahead.
Can I sit here and genuinely say that the Republican Party is to blame for the assassination and murder of Melissa Hortman?
Once again, I'm unfamiliar.
The Republican Party
with these,
is to blame,
situations
right,
you're giving me.
for the death of the 12 people at the Mormon church an hour north of Detroit, Michigan. Can I sit here and say that the Republican Party is to blame for the neo-Nazi that shut up Evergreen High School? Can I say
no? But I'm going to sit here. But I'm going to sit here and say that the Democratic Party incites violence.
Okay, got it.
You guys incite violence.
I have a question. Which party called for the death of their political opponents a week ago? Which party literally indirectly called for the public execution via the means of hanging of their political opponents less than a week ago? Because it sure as hell wasn't a Democrat. It was no no other than President Trump. And if we want to talk about the incitement of violence, let's talk about the violence that took place at our country's capital on January 6, 2021, when
Oh my God,
173
with
Trump
this
supporters
bullshit stuff.
rallied to the Capitol by nobody other than Trump himself, then left the Capitol either in handcuffs or fleeing because they just attacked and tried to kill 72 different members of law enforcement. Then they went to jail, right, for either attempted murder or assault with a deadly weapon. And then January 21st, 2025, Donald Trump gave them full and complete presidential pardons and let them out of jail. You will be able to point out people on the left that are violent. You will be able to point out people on the left that have perpetuated violence because of their politics. You will be able to point out people on the left that are insane and shouldn't be in society, because guess what? When you have a large group of people, that's bound to exist in some isolated scenarios. But the difference between the violence that we see perpetuated on the left and the violence that we see perpetuated on the right is the right's violence is systemic. Okay, it's not an isolated incident of like some 16-year-old shooting somebody in the face, right, and then getting hauled off in handcuffs, which I completely call violent, which I completely condemn, and they should be hauled off in handcuffs. On the right, it is the president of the goddamn United States of America using an executive order to pardon 173 people that try to kill cops on the steps of our Capitol while that president was trying to rig and steal the outcome of a federal election. Okay? Sure, I bet if you go to Blue Sky, if you go to Threads, you'll be able to find some chronically insane, right, a-hole 19-year-old Democrat posting about how all Republicans should die with 4 likes, 110%. But what you won't find is a Democratic lawmaker with power and structure behind them calling for the death of their political opponents, the same way we saw Donald Trump, the most powerful man alive, calling for the execution of Democrats because they suggested to the military that maybe they should disobey unlawful orders if there is one. Consider that.
Dean, we could sit here. Are you done with your monologue now? Am I allowed to speak? Okay. You can sit here and say all day long and throw these I don't know if you think that you're smarter than me because you can sit here and talk for 15 minutes, but it's not about how much you say, it's about what you say and how you say it. Let's talk about how it's unbelievable how you can sit here and still bring up January 6th. Let's talk about this. Let me give you something. How about the fact that when Charlie Kirk was killed, you did not see a single conservative out there using acts of violence? More people attended church. More people were praying. More people were doing positive things. I know you're not religious. I am not even completely sure on where you stand on any Catholicism or any religion at all. But I just want to say this, Dean. When George Floyd died, you didn't really see the same thing. People were burning down cities. The Democratic Party, I mean, it was not peaceful protests. You guys incite violence. I truly believe that. Of course, there are peaceful people on both sides, and there are crazy people on both sides. I don't think anyone's perfect. I don't think it's right to be. I don't think it's a good thing to be an extreme right winger. I don't think it's a good thing to be an extreme left winger. But all I'm going to say is, when George Floyd died, you saw cities burn down. When Charlie Kirk died, you saw people attend church. You saw people go and do positive things. Dean,
wait, I just want to clarify. Are you saying that the only individuals that were aggravated by the notion of a black man being murdered by a police officer were those on the left?
I'm not saying completely, but I don't
because you're trying to suggest an equivalency of the right versus left. So you're saying the only Americans that were outraged by the senseless murder of a black man at the hand of a police officer was the left. So
yes,
what does this tell us about the
right? Dean, you can be angry, but you don't have to go down. You don't have to go burn down a city.
I just have a question.
Dean, I was very upset about Charlie Kirk passing away. Very upset. I was angry.
Then you also said that there's just this peaceful response to Kirk's assassination. Obviously, you've never seen my DMs. Oh my God. The weeks following Kirk's assassination was one of the scariest times I've experienced in my life. The calls,
and I can probably understand that because there's crazy people.
The calls, the emails, the death threats. Okay, right? Are you kidding me? Dude? I even got a house that I used to live in swatted. Okay, and after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, HBCUs around this country were immediately launched into shutdown because members on the right turned around and senselessly blamed it on black people. But you're not going to talk about that, are you?
Say that one more time. Sorry, I was not listening. Say that
After
one more
Charlie
time.
Kirk's assassination, HBCUs around this country were immediately launched into shutdown because of bomb threats. People on the right saw Charlie Kirk get assassinated, turned around and blamed it on black people.
I am unfamiliar with that. I don't even really know what you're talking about. I just
Do I need to say it again?
I just can't sit here and I don't understand how you could say, like, Dean.
Oh, and by the way,
You were there.
the people burning down the cities, BLM, whatever. Did we ever see an elective Democratic official, right, like pardon them for their crimes if they're arrested and convicted for arson?
I mean,
No, we didn't. So, but if
these same powerful Democratic
if we
people
did, if we
were
did have a
encouraging them to go out
powerful
there and
Democrat,
protest in the
if
streets.
we did have a powerful, encouraging the one's execution of their First Amendment rights is now anti-American. Got it. If we did have like an important and powerful,
The
duly
First Amendment
elected-
is fine, but
One
you don't
moment.
go down
One
burning down
moment.
cities
One
and
moment. One moment.
rioting.
Listen to my question. If
Go
we
ahead.
did have an important
Go ahead.
and powerful, duly elected Democratic congressman or woman, governor, so on and so forth, of one of these states where these riots took place, turn around and pardon the people responsible for burning the buildings down, would you say that they were directly encouraging the violence by rewarding the perpetuators of it?
what? I don't even understand what you're saying to me right
Then
now.
let me
Say-
re-ask it. I'll ask it a third time. It's okay, buddy. I'll
Okay.
hold your hand. Okay. So
Okay.
like, if in these
Let's
states,
like I said, Dean. Let's be respectful.
if
I'm
in
not
these states
cutting.
where we
I'm
saw,
not
like,
being
the-
disrespectful to
If in
you.
these states where we saw the BLM riots, if like the governor of one of these states turned around and gave full and complete pardons to every single person that partook in the BLM riots and labeled them as patriots, would you argue that they are directly responsible for causing said violence as they're rewarding the perpetuators of it?
I wouldn't necessarily consider that to be a reward.
You wouldn't say it's a reward to be let out of jail when you had 10 years to serve? How not?
What are you getting at? Can you get to your point? You're obviously getting to something. Let me get to
the
your
point is the
point.
question that I'm asking you. Would we say that if like a Democratic governor of like one of these states where the BLM riots took place, if they pardon the people that perpetuated the violence,
Did you see- let me ask- let me-
would
let
you
me
say
ask
that
you
they're
a
okay with
question.
that violence?
Let me ask you a question.
No,
Let me come
I'm
back to
asking you a
this.
question. I'm asking you a question. I want an answer. Stop dodging. This is embarrassing.
And here's my answer.
Okay, well,
And
keep
let
in
me
mind,
get to my
answers
answer.
aren't questions. Okay? Because right now there's
no,
two,
Dean. I don't think that's a reward. There's
there-
your answer. The answer is no.
Oh
And
my
no,
God,
no,
I wasn't
no,
even
Dean.
asking you about a reward. I said if there's a Democratic governor that pardoned the people responsible for the BLM riots that went to jail on like attack, violent crime, arson, so on and so forth, if he gave them full and complete pardons, would you
But none of them
argue
went to
that
jail.
that governor,
None of them went to jail,
would you
Dean.
argue,
None of them went to jail.
would you argue that
They all got
governor-
away with
Oh
the
my
looting
God.
and the
Okay.
riots. They all got away with
Okay,
it.
sir, with all due respect, Jack, I can't have you crashing out mid-question. Okay, if you want to like lose your shit and crash out once I'm done asking the question, feel free. But by the way, yeah, individuals did go to jail over the BLM riots. Like, holy fuck, okay? But just crash out after I finish asking you my question and you answer. Let me know when you're ready to listen.
By the way, I don't know if you know this. It's a scientific fact that people who use profanity are actually show high levels of unintelligence. So
Okay, so you're telling me that you're getting cooked by an unintelligent nerd. That's a bad day for you.
I'm getting cooked over here, Dean.
Yeah, you
That's
are.
all
You can't
good,
even
buddy.
answer the question. And
I can
like,
tell-
dude,
I-
like I'm
I can
literally
tell
like,
that
dude, I'm like,
people-
I'm literally like in the middle of asking you the question, right? And it's like you start fucking crashing out. You can answer. Okay, listen. Okay, in one of the states where the BLM riots took place, okay, if there's like individuals that were like, arrested and prosecuted for violent crimes, arson, so on and so forth, and they were like sent to jail for 12 years. Okay, and then the Democratic governor of that state turned around and gave them all full and complete pardons and labeled them as patriots. Can we agree that it obviously proved that that governor was okay with the violence?
I don't see where you're getting at. I don't understand what's the point of
It's
you
a
saying
yes
this.
or no question. Can you give me a response?
What are you asking me? Do I think that is encouragement? No, I don't think that's encouragement.
Dude.
No, I
Okay,
do not think that's
okay.
encouragement.
I think
No,
that you
do
need to
not.
take a breath. You need to take a breath.
I think you need to take a breath, Dean. You keep muting me.
In my
You
question,
keep muting me, not even letting me speak.
In my question, I didn't even say the word encouragement.
You did, but okay. You can ask your question one more time, Dean. You switch it up every single time.
We're going to go ahead and replay the question that I asked him. Let's see if we hear the word encouragement. Here we go. To grape in reference to your
I never
definition.
said that. I
Prosecuted for violent crimes, arson, so on and so forth, and they were like sent to jail for 12, I'm literally like in the middle of asking you the question, right? And it's like you start fucking crashing out. Like, you can answer. Okay, listen. Remember, guys, we're looking for the word encourage. In one of the states where the BLM riots took place,
You're so
it was
clever.
like individuals
You're so
that were
clever,
like,
Dean.
arrested and prosecuted for violent crimes, arson, so on and so forth, and they were like sent to jail for 12 years. Okay, and then the Democratic governor of that state turned around and gave them all full and complete pardons and labeled them as patriots. Can we agree that it obviously proved that that governor was okay with the violence? Where in that question did I use the word encourage?
Saying you're okay with it, I mean, it's pretty much equivalent. You're okay with it, that means go ahead and do it. Like, I don't understand. That's the same thing. Like,
Okay, so you got to imply something.
laugh all you want, Dean.
Okay.
Dean, listen, it's all right.
Can you directly?
We can clearly see.
Can you direct? Hey, Jack. Can you clearly answer the question that I asked you?
You know what? Yes, if they pardon them, yes, that means they were okay with it. Yes, Dean.
Earlier, you argued that Donald Trump is not okay with violence, right?
This is the point I knew you were getting at. These things don't correlate.
Can you just answer my
Donald
question?
Trump never told people to go commit acts of violence on January 6th. There was no words of violence that were used.
Hey, just earlier you said that
it's not a crash out, Dean. You keep trying to talk over me. This is how you think you win. This is not how a conversation goes. You're very immature. And this is why I'm going to assume why Charlie Kirk never wanted to debate you on college campuses, because you act like a child. How old are you, Dean?
Oh, my God. This guy's crashing out. Listen, earlier you did
Dean, listen to the tone of my voice. No one is crashing out. I'm here to have a debate with you. Let's talk, Dean.
You said listen to the tone of your voice? Let's listen to the tone of your voice real quick.
You keep rewinding using your little acts of violence on January 6th. There was no words of violence that were used.
Hey, just earlier you said that
it's not a crash out, Dean.
That's the tone of the voice that you want me to listen to?
I mean, I'd appreciate if you don't talk over me and be a respectful human being.
Okay, let's respect each other, Jack. So earlier you did say that Donald Trump wants no violence, correct?
I mean, no, he does not want violence. He supports the party of peace. I think he's one of the greatest presidents America has ever had. He wants people in his country to succeed. He believes in the American dream. He wants everyone to be able to come here and live their lives peacefully and have to endure violence. And you should be able to come here and preach your beliefs, okay? Donald Trump believes in that.
Can I show you the fatal flaw in your argument?
Go ahead.
Perfect. Just make sure that you listen closely this time. You've had me repeat everything else like 5 times. I don't really want to repeat this more than once. So I asked you if a Democratic governor of a state were to pardon the violent offenders convicted on the BLM riots and then label them as patriots, would that show that that governor's okay with the violence they perpetuated? And you said, yes, that would show that they're okay with the violence perpetuated. And the contradiction here is, in one breath, you're arguing that Donald Trump is not okay with any violence, but in the next
But
breath,
you use the January 6th as if he came there.
Hey, Jack, I'm still speaking and you're listening, so you got to shut the hell up and pipe down low, bro. I'll help you out. I will forcefully insert the binky into your mouth by putting you on mute, since you have zero impulse control. I understand. Okay, I used to lack impulse control too, but then I grew the fuck up. I became a man. I became an adult. Okay, I wasn't a boy anymore. Right? But anyways, to continue what I was saying. So Donald Trump gave full and complete presidential pardons, okay, right, to 173 people convicted of violent assault on police officers on the steps of our Capitol on January 6th. One specific example of this would be a man by the name of DJ Rodriguez, who drove a stun gun into Officer Fanone's neck and gave him a heart attack, almost killing him. Officer Fanone testified. DJ Rodriguez pled guilty after he was caught on his body cam, and he was sentenced to 12 years in jail for this heinous, violent assault against one of our law enforcement officers. Now, 4 years into that sentence, Donald Trump comes around January 21st, 2025, and extends DJ Rodriguez a full and complete presidential pardon and labeled him as a patriot. So back to that question I asked you, if a Democratic governor extended a pardon to one of the BLM rioters convicted of a violent crime, would that demonstrate that that governor was okay with the violence? You said yes. Therefore, because Donald Trump extended full and complete presidential pardons to all of the J6ers that were found criminally guilty of these heinous violent crimes, this means, in accordance with your logic, that Donald Trump was okay with their heinous violence. So the contradiction that we're yielding right now is you were acting as a mouthpiece for the Trump administration when he tried to tell us that he's not okay with violence. But then in the next breath, using your own logic, all of a sudden we could prove he is.
I want you to give me, besides January 6th, one time where Donald Trump has incited violence. I want you to give that to me.
Yeah.
And I'd very much appreciate
Okay.
that.
Well, I'll entertain your pivot. Miss Teen USA and Miss USA, 1997 through 2004.
Fill me in with this situation.
He incited sexual violence of the form of sexual exploitation on behest of the naked women, the naked girls competing at the beauty pageants.
Okay, you were talking about this. You were talking about this before. Oh my God, Dean, you supported you. I'm assuming you voted for Joe Biden, correct?
No,
Oh, you didn't.
I was too young in 2020.
Oh, would you have?
Yes.
Okay. We could sit here and create the argument that Joe Biden is such a weirdo around little kids. Like, you can't even sit here and talk to me like this. Like, the Democrats are the people. All you guys like to talk about. Oh, Jeffrey Epstein released Jeffrey Epstein files. All his friends were Democrats. All of them were Democrats.
Check this out.
You guys are the party of the weirdos. Weirdos. You understand that, Dean? And you're one of them.
Check this out.
Get that through your head.
Can I just give you like a really common sense response to what you're saying?
Go ahead, Dean.
If what you're saying was true, then we shouldn't support either of them. I don't know, like, why, like, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with, like, the small brains that these MAGA men have. When I bring up that Donald Trump is an admitted sexual predator that preyed on naked children and naked women, they always go, oh, but Biden, okay, I don't think that Biden is a sexual predator. Assuming you're right and assuming he is, my next thought would be, oh, okay, so I shouldn't support Biden or Trump. But for whatever reason, on the inverse, from your perspective, it's like, if Biden is a sexual predator, then it's okay that Donald Trump is a sexual predator.
No, you should support Donald Trump because he wants to ensure a positive future for our republic and keep America's values truthful at heart.
Okay, you're pivoting away.
You don't believe in
Listen,
such things.
Listen, man,
I just told you, I don't care. I don't care if
you don't care if he's a sexual predator? You don't care if he's sexually exploited little girls? You're a freak.
I'm not really. I don't think that's true, Dean. I think you're lying to me.
Okay,
I think you're throwing fake facts in my face right now.
If it was true, would you care?
Dean, let me tell you something.
No, answer my question. If it was true, would you care?
You think you're much smarter than you are, and you are not intelligent. I can tell you that right now.
Dude, it takes
Charlie
two rocks.
Kirk
It takes 2 rocks, click clacking, to beat a dumbass like you in a debate. Now answer the damn question, little boy. Would you continue to support Trump if it was true that he had sexually exploited beauty pageant contestants at Miss Teen USA and or Miss USA by unconsensually barging into their dressing rooms and looking at them while they're naked? Okay? And by the way, if I'm so unintelligent, then why the hell are you running away from everything that I say? I brought up that the fact that your own logic implies and proves that Donald Trump is okay with violence since you pardoned the J6 rioters. Then you moved on to talking about what did this freak talk about next? Oh yeah, then you moved on to the question, oh, is there any other scenarios where he incited violence? Then I was like, yeah, when he was responsible for the sexual violence perpetuated against these beauty pageant contestants. Then you're like, oh, but Biden. And then I'm like, oh, well, if Biden was guilty, then I wouldn't support either of them. And then you're like, oh, well, Dean, you're unintelligent. If I'm so unintelligent, then stop running from everything I bring up. Okay, so definitely don't run from this question, and I'm gonna hold you to it. Okay, the question that I want you to respond to is very simple. If it was true that Donald Trump had sexually exploited naked women and/or naked girls, would you care? Would you continue to support him as president? Let's get a direct answer. No pivot, no deflection, no but Biden, no but securing the better future of the well-being of everybody in America. Just answer the question.
You're throwing fake facts in my face and you're an unintelligent loser.
Okay, you're actually unintelligent because you just called a question a fact. A question cannot be true or false, therefore a question cannot be a fact.
You're stating the fact.
Oh my God, you Nimrod. Is that even a word? I think it is. I think I've heard that somewhere. If it's not, then I just created a new word, okay? A question can't be a fake fact because a question can't be true or false. Holy shit. And then you follow that up by calling me unintelligent after suggesting that a question can be true or false. Oh my God. Okay, listen. The question once again is that I want you to answer. Just calm down, little boy. Obviously, you're very aggressive. I get it. You're very emotional. You're getting owned in a debate. Quite frankly, very clear. So the question is, I want you to respond directly. If Donald Trump indeed had sexually exploited women and girls, naked women and or naked girls, would you continue to support him as president? I understand that you don't think that this is something he's done. That's why I'm phrasing it as a hypothetical. Hypothetically, if good President Trump, that is honestly just Jesus 2.0, best president ever. Hypothetically, if this good man were not a good man and sexually exploited naked women and or naked girls, would you continue to support him as president?
Just to jump back where you said it wasn't his fact, it was a question. You stated the fact that he is an admitted sex offender is what you said, which is, I don't believe that to be true. That was what I was referring to.
Okay, thanks, man. Can you
I
answer
know
the
the
question?
difference between a fact and a question, and I'm not going to answer the question because you're throwing fake facts in my face.
Okay, then
this is what I'm going to say.
Then run away.
Dean, this is what I'm
Then
going to
run
say,
away.
Dean.
He's not with the debate. Everybody laugh at him. Everybody all at once laugh at him. Laugh at his ass because he won't answer the question because he's scared. He's cornered. He's got. The Trump supporter lost the debate. You will always lose the debate. You could call me unintelligent. You could whine. You could scream. You could cry. You could eat your own shit for all I care. It doesn't change the fact that you will never be able to win a debate when it is fact versus fiction. Okay? Like, oh my God. Like, yes, you've lost. You've bowed out. You've refused to answer the question. And now you've run away. That is what it looks like to get absolutely decimated from A to Z. A to Z. A to Z, just complete mental implosion because your views are like stinkier than the shit my dog pooped on my dad's lawn yesterday night, okay? Right? Like, come on. If you're going to come up here and you're going to get on stage in front of close to 16,000 people, you can't refuse to answer a question. That makes you look silly. That makes you look so silly. So incomprehensibly silly and dumb.